I am saying I'll forgive you if you apologize. If you can't even do that, we've joint ownership of that car. If you still want to go against us, we will get a divorce. My once kind husband was nowhere to be seen. There was no hope for a happy life anymore. There was nothing to do but give up. But fine. Okay, let's get a divorce. They hadn't expected me to agree. Caught off guard by my unexpected response, I quickly gathered up my belongings as they watched in stunned silence. We'll sort out the rest later. Goodbye. I'll be kind this one last time, but next time it's your turn to suffer. My name is Emily Johnson. I've been married for 32 years and, before I knew it, I turned 55. Straight out of high school, I landed a job at my current company. I quickly realized the joy of work. While others were out having fun, I was living a life devoted solely to my job. Working overtime was the norm, and of course, it was only natural to be the first to arrive at the office and get started on work. Whenever my boss gave an order, I carried it out immediately. As a result of dedicating my entire life to work, I was promoted to section chief at 30, department head at 40, and for the first time in the company, I became a female general manager at the age of 46. I owe all my dedication and success in work to my husband, William. We met at a client company, and after a few encounters, we clicked. After dating for 2 years, we got married. I am grateful to William who loved and married me, despite my stubborn and unyielding nature. Sorry, it looks like I'm going to be late again today. Don't worry about it, I'll take care of the house. Even though he is tired from a day's work, he still helps me with household chores. I'm really grateful to him. We were blessed with a child who wished me happy birthday, Mom. Our eldest son, Mason, is now married and has a family of his own. The problem, however, is the daughter-in-law named Michaela. Even before she married Mason, she and I just didn't click. Nice to meet you, ma'am. I'm Michaela Anderson, dating your son, Mason. My friends call me Mia, so please call me that. All right, Michaela. Nice to meet you too. Oh, my dear Mom, you don't need to be so stiff. What's with this girl? I wonder why Mason chose her. She's calling me Mom already, even though they aren't even married yet. She's quite a forward woman. No, more like a girl. I doubted if Mason should really spend his life with this girl. Then, she started doing something unbelievable right in front of me. It happened when William returned from work. Who's this? This is Mason's. Mason's father? Nice to meet you. My name is Michaela Anderson. People call me Mia, so you should too, Dad. Mia. Yay, you called me. I'm happy. I'm happy, too. What on earth is she doing? If she were my subordinate, I'd scold her harshly. But I can't. I'm off balance. That's how her first introduction went. A year later, they got married. My serious son and his wife, who doesn't hide her femininity. They were an imbalanced couple, but I sincerely hoped it would work out. However, my hope was soon shattered. One day, about a month after they got married, Mom, have you finished work? Mia and I are at the house, and something troublesome has happened. Could you come home as soon as possible? I received a message from Mason. What kind of trouble? Did Michaela do something? I quickly finished work and rushed home. What I found was an unbelievable sight. Hey, Dad. Have another drink. You are such a good girl, totally different from Emily. Mia, will you be my wife? I'll buy you anything you want right now. Yay! Then I want a car. A really expensive one. I'll buy you a car, a house, anything. What on earth is happening? There were 3 beer bottles on the table. William, who is weak with alcohol, would get completely drunk after drinking that much. I'm sorry. I let this happen. It's not your fault. Help me clean up. I moved the 2 reluctant people away, cleaned up the alcohol on the table, took William to the bedroom, and put him to bed. What's he doing, being fawned over by a young woman? I muttered, returning to the living room. The couple was hurrying to leave. We should be going now. That's when it happened. Michaela smiled for just a moment. I didn't see that wrong, did I? I saw them off with an indescribable sense of unease. When I went to the bedroom, William was fast asleep. I never thought he, who hardly talks when he's with me, would become so talkative from drinking alcohol. But what bothered me more were Michaela's words. An expensive car. Surely not. I thought, but I couldn't have imagined it then. The slight bad feeling in the back of my mind became a reality. A week after that incident, I came home from work and opened the front door to a shocking scene. What is this? Bags haphazardly thrown around the entrance. A man's suit, discarded nearby. And from inside, the sound of a wild party. Confused, I hurried into the living room. Yay! Dad, this is so fun! I feel so youthful. Right, Mason? You guys are both overdoing it. Look at me, I'm hardly dressed at all. I was utterly stunned. This time, Mason had joined in, and the three of them were drinking and carrying on like fools. As for William, of all people, was practically naked. I wanted to ask, what on earth are you all doing? But the scene was so appalling I was at a loss for words. Suddenly, Michaela noticed me. Oh? When did you get home, Mom? Just now. And what is going on here? This is not the behavior of adults. Mason, you too. My words sparked William's anger. What are we doing? Can't you see? Mia is serving me this delicious drink. It's such a pity that the cause of my stress is always nearby. Stress? Was he talking about me? Dad, don't say such things. It's unfair to Mom. It doesn't matter. Nothing gets through to this one. She's always all work and no housework. I don't care if she's some department head, she shouldn't get too carried away with herself. Women should do the housework. Why should I have to do it as a working man? Learn from Mia and do some housework. And try to be a cute woman like her, you old hag. I've been busy with work and unable to keep up with housework. No matter how busy, William never complained, took care of the household chores. He always said, I don't want to burden you, so don't worry. I'll take care of everything. I had been grateful for such a kind husband, but he hadn't been thinking that way at all. Even worse, he thought I was done as a woman. My anger dissipated at his harsh words, leaving only sadness. Hey, don't be so shocked, Mom. Dad isn't wrong, after all. I can't walk with you. It's embarrassing to have such an old lady as a mom. Even my pathetic son said such things. What's my worth? What does it mean to care for my family? To my shock, Michaela then said out of the blue, but I want your car, Mom. Huh? What's this all about? It's just a horror for an old lady like you to drive such an expensive car. Young and cute girls like me should have it. Oh, that's right. You wanted a car. Hey, Emily. Give her that car. Hand over the keys. What are you talking about? Do you have any idea how much that car cost? I don't care. A young and beautiful woman like Mia should be driving that luxury car, not an old hag like you. It would make the car happier. Then I'll sit in front. Dad, you're in the back. With that, Michaela tried to take the keys from Mason. I quickly snatched the keys from his hand and put them in my bag. The three of them looked at me as if I had done something wrong. I immediately left the house, got into my car, and drove to a gas station far away from home. Why did it come to this? Alone in my car in the gas station, I held my head in my hands and reminisced about what just happened. Even though they were drunk, seeing William and Mason like that for the first time, hearing their words. Every time I remembered, I felt a tightening in my chest. Was all their kindness and their words all lies? Even if it was just once, my heart was severely wounded, and tears naturally flowed. Then, my phone rang. It was William. Hello. Hey. Give the car back right now. It's Mia's car. Are you listening? That's exactly right. Old lady, give back the car. I ended the call and sighed deeply. I changed my location and waited for time to pass. Oh, my back hurts. I fell asleep without realizing it. I woke up, feeling terrified, to find the morning sun shining dimly into the car. I had spent the whole night in the car. The clock showed 6 a.m. I got out of the car, taking a deep breath of fresh air, and stretched out fully. Refreshed, with a new mindset. Maybe I should go home. Heading back to the car, I set a course for home. Upon arriving, it appeared William had already left for work. I need to prepare myself as well. Entering the house, I took a shower, got ready, and as always, went to work. That's when it happened. You're late. Weren't you supposed to be at work? I was waiting for you. Where have you been? I slightly endured William's interrogation. And then, without delay, he said, well, never mind. There's something important we need to discuss, so make sure to come home on time. Got it? You don't have the right to refuse. His voice was stern, as if he'd changed into a different person. Once I agreed, he said nothing more and left for work. I might need to brace myself. Despite feeling suspicious about his words, I headed to work. As promised, I finished work on time and returned home, where not only William, but also Mason and Michaela were waiting. Why didn't you pick up when Dad called you yesterday? He was worried. Mason said coldly as soon as I entered. Do you realize what you've done? Your selfish actions are causing trouble for the whole family. Yes, after you left, we were all worried. Added Michaela. How dare they make such unfounded accusations? As if they cared at all. Do you all even remember what happened yesterday? You guys were so drunk. Of course. We wouldn't lose memory over such a small amount of alcohol. Their insistence proved that their harsh words to me yesterday were not just spur of the moment. That settled it for me. After what happened, I can't continue living with you. I need to reconsider our marriage. Do you mean you want divorce? That's what it comes down to. I had a feeling something was amiss when he told me in the morning that he had something to discuss. I would like you to leave right away, but we've lived together for so long. If you're willing to repent, I might forgive you. Oh, Dad, you're so kind. Dad, there's no need to be nice to someone causing so much trouble. Did I really deserve this? What? Aren't you going to apologize? I'm saying I'll forgive you if you apologize now. If you can't even do that, we have joint ownership of that car. If you still want to go against us, we'll get a divorce. My once kind husband was nowhere to be seen. There was no hope for a happy life anymore. There was nothing to do but give up. But, fine, let's get a divorce. They hadn't expected me to agree. Caught off guard by my unexpected response, I quickly gathered up my belongings as they watched in stunned silence. We'll sort out the rest later. Goodbye. I'll be kind this one last time. But next time, it's their turn to suffer. They just stood there, silently watching me leave. I arrived at a motel and immediately called someone. Hello, I have a favor to ask. Thank you in advance. A week later, I went to William with the divorce papers. When he saw me, he seemed like he wanted to say something but couldn't. But he also seemed unsatisfied, giving me a weird look. Ignoring his strange demeanor, I presented the divorce papers, which seemed to surprise him. Seeing my name filled in, he must have realized I was serious about the divorce. This was all his doing, so it's too late to regret it now. I'll contact you later through my lawyer. I brushed off William and left the scene. 2 weeks later, I received a call from Mason. Dad's been in an accident. Come over here now. Why should I? Can't you guys handle it yourself? Don't say that. Aren't you worried about Dad? I hung up the phone, ignoring my frantic son. Despite receiving continuous calls from Mason, I ignored them all. Then a call came in from Michaela. Mom! Why won't you help us? Dad has been in an accident. So what? As I said before, I have no intention of getting involved with you. Is this all your fault? You're quite the woman to blame others. Despite the alternating calls from Mason and Michaela, I naturally ignored them. The fact that my ex-husband had an accident had nothing to do with me. Finally, the phone rang again. Yes? Hey! Why aren't you picking up the phone? What is it? I pretended not to know. You've been getting calls from Mia and Mason. I'm asking why you're not answering. That's what I want to know. We're divorced, and I've given you the car and the house. So why are you contacting me now? So I want to. I hung up the phone, not wanting to waste any more time. Yet, he was persistent. I'm busy. Hey, at least listen to. I hung up again. Please listen to me. Goodbye. After that, he kept calling. I could have just turned off my phone, but I wanted to savor his anguish, so I left it on purpose. However, he was so persistent that I finally said, "What is it that you want to ask me?" Finally. Why do you keep hanging up? If you have nothing to say, then. Wait! I get it, don't hang up. Actually, I had an accident earlier, and about, your car insurance. I don't have insurance. What? Just as I expected, but don't worry. I put the car in your name and also put the insurance in your name. Stop messing around. What are you doing on your own? On my own? Of course. It's not my car anymore. So please take care of the rest. William was speechless at my pointed words. Just when I thought I'd had enough, I remembered one thing I had forgotten to mention. There's one more thing I forgot to mention. Please leave the house you're living in as soon as possible. Huh, what? That house is going on sale next week. If you continue to live there, you'll be arrested for illegal occupation. What the hell? You're kidding, right? Truth be told, I was the one owning the house he lived in. I sold the house and the land when we got divorced. I had everything handled by a real estate agent while he was away for work. Hold on. Mason and Mia are living there too. What will they do if the house is gone? I don't care. You guys decided to live there on your own. You figure it out. Upon hearing this, the trio let loose a storm of insults over the phone, but all I heard from the other end was the sound of sirens. Then came a voice saying, "Excuse me, we received a noise complaint." Apparently, a passerby had reported the 3 men hurling abuses at a phone. A car crash site, 3 suspicious men, and now the police. The situation was so chaotic it could be understood even through the phone, and then the sirens blared a few minutes later. The sound of the sirens gradually receded into the distance. And then the line went quiet. It seems the trio were taken away. That single comment I made turned out to be the final blow for all 3. After being released by the police, the 3 returned home only to find it listed for sale, leaving them homeless. On top of that, the incident with the police led to Mason and William losing their jobs. This resulted in them losing their will to work, and now Michaela is working alone to support the 2 of them. The car they had taken from me had been repaired with insurance after the accident, but they couldn't maintain it while paying the high loan with just Michaela's earnings, so they had to sell it. However, probably because of the accident, the car that was so expensive when they bought it barely fetched any money when they sold it. On the other hand, I am living a meaningful life alone while working, thanks to the property settlement from the divorce. By the way, I haven't claimed any compensation from the divorce lawsuit. Is this what they call a mercy? Well, even without me doing anything, a tough life is waiting for those 3 from now on.